Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode. So, as over the last couple weeks, we have been looking at some of my favorite and least favorite lists. Some of them entail some of my favorite theme songs from animated TV shows, favorite finishers, etc. So today we're kind of sticking with that theme, and we're going to be looking at some of my favorite theme songs from live-action TV shows. To be honest, it was impossible to come down to just 10 theme songs. And I can't exactly remember every single show I've ever watched. Given the fact that for a good chunk of my life, I mean, TV has really been like my major source of entertainment. So I probably watched literally a couple thousand TV shows over the course of my life. So, and from late 90s, just before preteen, and then into my teenage years, and later on into adulthood, man. The CW. The CW, not only was it my most watched station, but basically all of my TV viewing was from the WB. And when the WB and UPN merged into CW, it continued that trend of watching those TV shows. So, when you look at my list of favorite live-action theme songs, a good chunk of them are going to be from the WB/CW TV series. Now, I do have a few thrown in there just because the themes are incredible. They have a lot of history behind them. But either way, these songs all meant something to me for a particular reason. So, I don't have a list of 10. There are 3 songs I had to add that just made no other sense. They had to be included on this list. So, we're going to be looking at a top 13 list of my all-time favorite live-action theme songs. And here is number 13.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song. I will try not to sing out of key. Yeah. Oh, baby, how you like? All I need is my buddy. I say I'm gonna get high.
So coming at number 13 is The Wonder Years. Is it the most incredible theme song? Does it get you jumping out of your chair and dancing around the living room? Probably not. But The Wonder Years was one of those fantastic shows that I think every kid probably watched. It's been a long time since I've seen The Wonder Years, and I didn't even remember it. In my second deployment to or was it my first? No, it was my first deployment. When I was in Baghdad, Iraq in 2006, I had all these little burnt DVDs of The Wonder Years and Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and I believe Boston Public was another one. And for the first time in 15 years or more, I had actually watched the full series of The Wonder Years. And being 21 years old and not seeing that show since I was probably like 6 or 7, I mean, that show still held up. And I think it's one of those shows that will hold up over the test of time. That relationship between Danica McKellar and Fred Savage, it's one of those relationships that you're disappointed they didn't stick together in the TV series. So, and Danica McKellar, man, shoot. I don't care if you're talking about the movie Sidekick, if you're talking about Wonder Years. She was a beautiful girl as young. I'm pretty sure she was one of those girls that we were all in love with. As an adult, oh my God, she is so freaking gorgeous. So, yeah, The Wonder Years. I mean, where would this list be without The Wonder Years? So moving on to number 12. A top 10 song for me, probably, but I think number 12 is a nice placement for this song. Check him out. There, it's kind of one of those shows. It's like Friends, right? These shows were always on repeat on, like, I don't know, TBS or something like that, right? And it was just so nice. You put them on, and it just seemed like the lamest show ever. I was never a fan of Friends. In fact, it took me into my first deployment when I actually went to one of the Haji shops and bought the entire series of Friends, and I watched it for the first time, that I actually fell in love with the Friends TV show. But teenager into adulthood, I thought Friends was lame as heck. Big Bang Theory, I thought it was the lamest crap ever. I could not get behind it. And then I was in Afghanistan in 2016. And I had a little TV in my room, and SOCOM, they had little cables that you could plug up to the TV, and it allows you to watch AFN. And I forgot what I was watching, but Big Bang Theory came on right afterwards, and I didn't rush to change the channel. And it was just kind of playing in the background while I was doing something else. And I got a few laughs out of it. I kept watching a little more, got a few more laughs. Suddenly, I was watching this show every day. And today, Big Bang Theory has become one of my all-time favorite series. Definitely one of my all-time favorite comedies. Probably the #1 greatest comedy of all time. So it just goes to show you how your feelings can change about something when you actually sit down and give it a chance. So, Big Bang Theory at number 12. Here is my listing for number 11.
I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. I want to know right now, what will it be? I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. Will it be yes or will it be sorry? So open up your morning light and say a little prayer for right. You know that if we are to stay alive, we'd see the love in every eye.
Coming in at number 11, Dawson's Creek. I think Paula Cole alone, I mean, her song is amazing. And like I said, I bought the Paula Cole CD back in the day. I was probably like 12 years old or something when that CD came out. And, you know, I had one of my favorite songs. You know, Where Have All the Cowboys Gone? I mean, her album was pretty awesome. And this theme song, it's one of those songs that you don't sit there and fast forward through the theme song. You actually listen to it because, you know, it's a great song, got a nice beat, and it is one of those songs that makes you want to get up and dance type of deal. So, well, maybe not me because I'm not a dancer and I'd be too humiliated to dance in front of people, but but I'm saying that is such a fantastic song. And for the longest time, Dawson's Creek was my number 2 favorite show. Once I kind of got up a little bit older and Power Rangers was no longer my favorite, you know, Buffy the Vampire Slayer ended up taking over as my all-time favorite show. And for the longest time, I always had Dawson's Creek at number 2. And Dawson's Creek stayed number 2 for years. And I think it was just because I had always listed Buffy Dawson's Creek at 1, 2, but, I mean, let's be honest. First 2 or 3 seasons of Dawson's Creek were pretty fantastic, especially for being a teenager at the time. 4 onwards, you watched it because you had always been a fan, but like it wasn't one of those shows you were like dying to see. You weren't like, oh my god, it's Tuesday or it's Wednesday. Dawson's Creek is on. I'm so excited. No. So this theme song, though, it did mean a lot to me. Like I said, Dawson's Creek, it was like my so-called life. A lot of times where you see these teenagers who have more life experience than the adults themselves. So it's kind of funny in that term. But moving on the list. As we go on to my top 10 favorites, here is my number 10 selection.
Can you become a new version of you? New wallpaper, new shoe leather, a new
So funny enough that Felicity would come in at number 10 and actually surpassed Dawson's Creek in that term, which is kind of funny. I just think that the theme song is, different than the Paula Cole song, so I think that helped it a whole lot. I think, when did Felicity air? It aired in 1999, so yeah, I was in 7th grade at the time. I was 14 when that show aired, probably, so fall of 99, so yeah, I was probably a few months shy of my 15th birthday. For Felicity, another one of my all-time favorite shows. Once Upon a Time, a top 10 all-time favorite series for me. Now, as the years have progressed and I've watched a gazillion other shows, Felicity probably wouldn't even crack the top 100, but it doesn't mean that show didn't mean a whole ton to you. Now, that was one of those shows where at the very season finale of the first season, it's like, oh my God, is she choosing Ben or is she choosing Noel? You waited all summer and waited into the fall until that season premiere because you wanted to see her choice. That's how invested you were into that show. For the first year and a half, Felicity was absolutely amazing. And then the event happened. And we all know what the event is. Carrie Russell decides to get a haircut. And what is Carrie Russell famous for? The long, beautiful, lush, curly hair. And now she's got this, all this small, boyish-looking curly hair. And it didn't meet the look of Carrie Russell, the look that she was synonymous with. Now, it's kind of funny that everybody blames a haircut for destroying Felicity, but, you can't help poor writing. And the storylines just got boring, and the fact that the show lasted 4 years was pretty incredible, but you can't blame the haircut on that one. I mean, we all like to joke around and say the haircut is what did it in, but it just kind of went downhill after that. So, coming in as my number 9 selection, check them out. So it's kind of funny that I put Seventh Heaven as my number 9 favorite theme song. Again, we're sticking with the WB. Going from Dawson's Creek, Felicity, Seventh Heaven. This isn't the last time you're going to see a WB show on this list. Why? Because I was WB invested, when I was younger. I hated nothing more than watching the WB turn into CW. To me, I don't care how long CW's been around. What is it? 17 years now? Something like that. To me, it'll always be the WB. And I always felt like the WB had the single greatest lineup of TV shows ever. Occasionally, like on Fridays, TGIF, you'll switch over to like Boy Meets World and Sabrina the Teenage Witch and A Two of a Kind and, those type of shows that used to air on TGIF. Or Sundays, you'd go over to Fox and you'd watch The Simpsons. Malcolm in the Middle, X-Files, things like that, right? So, later on, around 9 p.m. on Sundays, you had, like, The Sopranos. But, I mean, the WB was strictly 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., so none of that stuff really ever interrupted WB viewing. So, Seventh Heaven was one of the best shows on the air for about 6-7 years or so. Maybe not even that long. It aired in 96 for the first time, and I was in high school in 2004 before I went off to the Army, so I think around 2001, 2002 maybe, Seventh Heaven just didn't do it for me anymore. I still watch the show every single week, but it didn't have the same appeal it once did. And it just shows you that some shows do outlive their usefulness, essentially. You never want to hear that your favorite shows are getting canceled, but Seventh Heaven lasted 11 years. And their theme song, I think it's because it gives you that nostalgic family vibe that we all want. You know, a loving and supporting family. You know, brothers and sisters who actually tell you that they love you and everything, and that have your back and you're always going to be by your side. But I think very few of us actually have that type of relationship with our family. So, you know, that I think that song kind of becomes a little bit more emotional in that sense. It means a little bit more, and it is a catchy song. Let's call it what it is. It is a very catchy song. But Seventh Heaven, maybe rated a little bit higher on my list than it probably deserves. That's fine. Number 9, I think is a good look for it. So moving on, here is my number 8 all-time favorite live-action theme song.
Somebody save me. Let your warm hands break right through. Somebody save me. Don't care how you do it, just stay. Come on, I've been waiting for you. I made this whole world shine for you.
Coming in at number 8 is Smallville. Yes. Tom Welling led Smallville. Abso-freaking-lutely. Now here's the thing though. You hear the theme song from Superman for so many years of your life, and you know what? When you associate the Superman the movie theme song as being Superman's theme. So now all of a sudden Save Me has become the new Superman theme. And it's like so far and different from one another. And it is a fantastic song. When you first hear it, it is incredible. But over the years, I'll admit, the song started to lose its luster. Kind of think about No Scrubs. TLC came out with that song, I don't know, when did they come out? Like 2002, somewhere in that time frame. I remember, you know, you're on the highway driving and, you know, a song comes on the radio and you blast that. That song was so freaking good. It was catchy, it was enjoyable, but I don't know what it was. Eddie and Jobo, but B96, they used to play that song like crazy. It drove me nuts. And this is one of those scenarios where when you play a song, I don't care how fantastic a song is, you play it over and over and over again, and it's going to become the most hated song ever. And for the longest time, absolutely No Scrubs. I hated that song with every fiber of my soul. And Smallville Save Me, it's kind of had like the same thing. You know, for 11 years, you had to listen to that theme song. It would be nice if they kind of switched it up here and there. The first few seasons was fine. I think by season 4, season 5, I was completely over it. But still, you're talking about one of the top 10 greatest TV shows of all time. And that theme song will always be synonymous with Superman now. And you can't take away from what it meant as a viewer and what it means as a lyrical song. Because it, like I said, it was a great song. It just became overplayed and became redundant. With that being said, we are moving on to our number 7 selection. Here it is.
Reaching out
coming in at number 7 is Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Now here is one of those examples where you got to change up the songs in order to kind of keep your series fresh, right? If you look at the high school years of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, there's a type of music that was playing during the opening credits. Now, years later, and when she graduated and she went off to college, that's the song we're talking about. That college opening theme song is what's really catchy. It's a great song, and I could listen to that song over and over again for an hour and a half. It is a really good song. I would actually like to hear a full version, a full cut of that song, instead of just the abbreviated introduction to a TV show theme. But it just shows you that if you change the theme at the right time, it can make all the difference in the world. And I was actually saddened to learn years and years ago that, because what I talk about, TGIF, right? I love TGIF. I love watching Sabrina and Boy Meets World. Those were always staples of TGIF. Then you had like this genie show. What was the other one with the angel? Angel something. I can't remember what the name of the show was, but those were all, shows that you would find on TGIF. And years later, I found out, I was ticked off that Sabrina moved to the WB. I didn't want her on the WB. I wanted her to stay on ABC with TGIF. I found out they actually canceled Sabrina the Teenage Witch after 4 years. And the WB picked her up. And that's where she spent the last 3 years of the series run, is on the WB. So for that, I am eternally grateful to the WB, of course, even more so, because one of my favorite shows got to extend its life, not even just by a single season, but by a 3-year run. So that was pretty awesome. And I hear that they're making a remake of it, or continuation, bringing it back like the same way they did Roseanne and Full House, etc. I hope that's true, because I would definitely be interested. I don't watch TV the same way I used to, but that would be something I would definitely watch. Alright, we are moving on to my number 6 all-time favorite show, or all-time favorite theme song.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. The weekend comes, my cycle hums, ready to race to you. These days are happy and free. These days are share them with me. Goodbye, gray sky, hello, blue. There's nothing can hold me when I hold you. It feels so right, it can't be wrong. Rocking and rolling all week long. These days are happy and free. These days are share them with me. I wanna cruise her around the town, show everybody what I found. Rock and roll with all my friends, hoping the music never ends. Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Saturday, what a day. Grooving all week with you. These days are share them with me. These days are happy and free. Hello, sunshine, goodbye, rain. She's wearing my school ring on the chain. She's my steady, I'm her man. I'm gonna love her all I can. These days are share them with me. These days are happy and free. Goodbye, gray sky, hello, blue. There's nothing can hold me when I hold you. Feels so right, it can't be wrong. Rocking and rolling all week long. These days are share them with me. These days are
Alright guys, coming in at number 6, Happy Days. Now originally this was my number 5 song, but there was one song I forgot, and that's the one I put at number 1. So it pushed everything else back. But still, a number 6 out of, think of the thousands and thousands and thousands of TV shows that have aired over the years. To be the number 6 greatest live action theme song is pretty incredible. Now, in this video, you're going to see a much longer drawn out full version of that song. Excuse me. That is such a great song, such a catchy song. And even though I didn't really watch Happy Days, I mean, it would have been something like my mom would have had on TV, like maybe on Lifetime or, I don't know, TNT or something, back when, we were younger. And she might watch it, but not anything I ever watched as a kid. But you don't have to watch something or enjoy something to enjoy their theme song. That's why Pokemon was on my list of favorite anime theme songs. I never watched Pokemon. I never collected Pokemon cards or knew anything about Pokemon whatsoever. I didn't care. But the theme song was so incredible, and that is the type of song you can listen to for like hours on end and never get tired of it. Happy Days. So much fun. So glad to add that to this particular list. So, we are moving on to number 5.
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke, your love life's the old way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear, when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause I'm there for you too.
So, my number 5 all-time favorite theme song is Friends. And I've talked about it before. Friends used to always air, in syndication as repeats, and it used to drive me nuts. I didn't know why it had the following that it did. And to me, it was a bad show. I didn't enjoy it. But that's the thing. I never watched it. Maybe if, like, The Simpsons, maybe The Simpsons, or one of those shows ended, and, Friends would come on afterwards. That's something where, you see a few minutes of it or something, but you really wouldn't care about it. It would just kind of be on until you change the channel. Until I went on my first combat deployment as a soldier in 05, 06, and, that summer I watched the show. Here's the funny thing. I started watching the show, I want to say in like July, maybe early August 2006, because I went to the Haji shop, spent like $30, and bought all 10 seasons of the box set of Friends. And I was mad watching through that series. Like, I think I made it to like season 6, 7, 8, something like that. Mid-August, I went on my R&R. And I didn't want to bring it with me because I didn't want to, be watching that while I was gone. I wanted to have something to watch when I came back. But man, I'm on vacation for like 2 weeks, and I'm with my wife and everything, and all I could think about is getting back to Iraq and watching Friends. Alright, exaggeration, maybe not all I was thinking about, but yeah, it did come up once or twice. Friends actually turns out to be one of my top 5 all-time favorite comedies. And it's one of those shows where you become highly invested in the lives of the characters, so that means something. The Rembrandt's theme song is absolutely incredible and a very enjoyable theme, even if it wasn't a theme song to a popular TV show, just a regular, ordinary song you heard on the radio, which it could be. This is a phenomenal addition. So, Friends, my number 5 all-time favorite theme song. Here is number 4.
Oh, I am what I am. I'll do what I want, but I can't hide. I won't go. I won't sleep. And I can't breathe till you're resting here with me. And I won't leave.
So coming in at number 4 is the original Roswell. So Roswell was another WB series that aired in 1999. And to me, at one point with the WB, there was really 5 shows, I think, that you knew or you could always depend on to put out a quality product week after week. You know, Buffy the Vampire Slayer was one. Angel was another. Charmed was another one. Roswell, definitely. And I'm trying to think what else was out there on the WB that you knew was fantastic, regardless. And a lot of times, you know, you watch the previews, it's like, oh man, that looks so amazing, I can't wait to next week. And it like kills you, it's like eats at you the entire week. You're going through school and everything, waiting for that week to pass so you can go and watch that episode. Even if even if the next week's follow-up clips didn't intrigue you, you still knew it was going to be a great episode. And those were like really the only 4 shows that really had a great product week after week. Dawson's Creek was getting bad. Felicity was getting bad. What else was on there? Seventh Heaven, you know, really wasn't all that. So, Roswell. And Dido's song is absolutely incredible. And I think one of the most, of all the songs on this list, I think is actually one of the most brilliant songs that fits that particular subject of Roswell. Now in 2018, Roswell, New Mexico came out on the CW, which is basically Roswell. Now they changed it a little bit to the point where Roswell, New Mexico, they were adults as opposed to still being high school students. And, you know, they changed up a bunch of different things. If you look at that show, if you look at it with beer goggles on, kind of like I did, and nitpick at every little detail, you know, because of how different it is from the original series, it's going to drive you insane. You're going to absolutely hate it. But if you watch Roswell, New Mexico as its own individual series and don't really compare the two, it is a fantastic, brilliant show. One of my favorites. So, but the original Roswell, man, even with all the incredible shows out there, and I literally mean I've seen thousands of TV shows, and I'm not talking about watch one episode and say I've seen this series. No, I mean legitimately seen multiple seasons or entire series or whatnot, probably thousands, and I still consider Roswell to be one of my top 10 all-time favorites, one of my all-time favorite TV shows, and this theme song, fantastic. So, we are moving on to number 2. Number 3.
Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more.
Dad's missing. I need you to help me find him. I can't do this alone. Dad's giving us a job to do. He wants us to pick up where he left off. Saving people, hunting things. This demon killed Mom and Jess. I gotta find Dad. I gotta find Jessica's killer.
I'm Meg.
So where are you headed?
No way I'm telling you. You could be some kind of freak.
Dad.
Just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion. I was soaring
In 1835, Samuel Colt made a special gun. They say this gun can kill anything.
though my eyes can see, I still was a blind man. Though my mind can think, I still was a man. I hear the voices when I'm dreaming.
I have these nightmares, and sometimes they come true.
You two are all I've got, but I guess we are stronger as a family to go after this damn thing together.
Yes, sir.
Don't you cry no more.
Coming in at number 3 is Kansas, Carry On My Wayward Son. Here's the thing with Supernatural. Originally, this was my number 2 selection, which was much more fitting for this list. But as you know, my new number 1 pushed everything else back, right? So, it's out of the top 2 spots, which is sad, because this is a fantastic song. Kansas, when they made this song, they absolutely kicked it, nailed it. They hit it out of the ballpark. The lyrics, the beat, the music is just beautiful. 1970s music, working so perfectly for a 2000s TV show. Supernatural was one of those shows that they only wanted to run 5 years. Like, I think that's what Eric Kripke's goal was to have a 5-year run. But the show was just so good, and was one of the WB's / CW's highest rated shows, and they just could not fathom getting rid of it. After 10 years, you knew that this was something more elite than you had ever planned. At 12 years, it's like, man, it's got to end soon. 14 years, okay, man, it's got to be nearing the end. But 15 years, think about 15 years, 327 episodes. Supernatural, I don't care what kind of fan you are. If you're a horror fan, if you're a comedy fan, drama, if you like crime shows, Supernatural has to be on absolutely everyone's list among the top 10 greatest TV shows in history. Perfect. This song, Dean and Sam, their father, Dean, he follows after his father's taste in music, which is a lot of 70s and 80s, rock and roll and whatnot. And Kansas, with this song right here, absolutely perfect. I couldn't imagine a more relatable song to that show. But here is my number 2 selection.
I don't wanna be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately. All I have to do is think of me and have peace of mind. I don't wanna be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately. All I have to do is think of me and have peace of mind. I'm tired of looking around and wondering what I gotta do or who I'm supposed to be. I don't wanna be anything other than me.
Coming in at number 2, One Tree Hill. Now, this is another one of those songs that I talk about where you could play it over and over again and never get tired of it. You can't play a song like No Scrubs over and over again, because then eventually you're going to want to punch somebody in the face. It was good the first time you hear it, the 10th time you hear it. By the 20th time you hear it, you realize how critical it is of men, which sucks. And then it's like, it doesn't, the beat and all that, it just doesn't hold water for you. But One Tree Hill, man, again, it's a real song that they put as a theme song, and it ties in with the TV series. One Tree Hill, again, another one of those greatest CW or WB. It's been a couple years on the WB before being transitioned to the CW, where it spent like the last 7 years. But a 9-year run for this show. And this is after, moving it in out of TV slots, making it a mid-season replacement. Okay, jumping 5 years into the future. Yet this show still made it 9 years. Incredible. I missed a bunch of seasons because I was deployed or, in the army or whatnot. And I think I caught up on all those seasons. I don't remember season 9. So I'm hoping I saw that season. But at this point, I really have no interest in going back and rewatching it to make sure. But season 7 through 9, I don't know anything about them. If you ask me what the years were about, I'm clueless. But it doesn't take away the fact that One Tree Hill, for the longest time, again, was a top 10 favorite as the years progressed. And I've progressed out of CW or WB series and into, FX and Stars and all these other... it's not a top 10 favorite for me anymore. But those early seasons, first 3 seasons, 4 seasons, 5 seasons, I can still see it as top 20, top 30, top 40, 50, I don't know. But it's still one of my favorites regardless of how much lower I place it nowadays. Alright, number 1. This is a song I couldn't believe that I left off this list because of how integral and how important this song and this show was to me growing up. Does it fit the mold of the rest of these series, which basically caters to people, teenagers to older adults. Now, this last video is catered towards, young children. But again, it's something that meant the world to me from childhood and still holds high esteem in my heart today. So here is my number one selection. Coming in at number 1, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. In all honesty, in 30 seasons of Power Rangers, there's probably been 20 or 25 or so, probably even more than that, different theme songs for different sets of Power Rangers. Is Mighty Morphin the greatest Power Rangers theme song? Probably not. But I chose Mighty Morphin Power Rangers because from 1993 until 1995, the original 3 seasons of that show, it set the mold for all the future future fans of the show, the different toy lines, the different characters and Zords and villains and different Power Ranger suits. Power Rangers for me, yes, I had 1989's Batman. Yes, I had the 1978 and all the 1980s Superman movies. But as a kid, even though, yeah, I realized as an 8-year-old, I'm old enough to understand that this is a TV show and this is action, this is not real. But still, to me, Power Rangers were my first real, true superheroes. And that is why that is one of those shows that will stand through the test of time and will always mean something to me, irrelevant of how old I get up there in age. One of the reasons I was never able to talk about Jason David Frank's passing last year is because it's heartbreaking. Like I said, was probably my favorite superhero, and one day I do plan on talking about that because it is something that I feel deserves a discussion in one of my real chat videos. But you don't want to hear your heroes dying and the cause of their death on top of it, the reason behind their death. So, but Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, catchy theme song. I mean, lyrics on this theme song are redundant. They repeat repetitiously, but it's still catchy. It's such a great song regardless. So that is my top 13 list of all-time favorite live-action theme songs. Again, I had to extend this a little bit longer than usual because there are just so many greats to choose from. And I'm pretty sure there are a million other songs out there that I probably would have rated a whole lot higher, but it's really hard to think of every show that you've ever seen or every show in existence. So hopefully you guys approve of this list, and if you have particular songs that you think should be on a top 10 list like this, please let me know in the comments. I'm always happy to hear from you guys. And that's going to close out this video, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time. Goodbye, everybody.